I'm Bryn. This is Kieran. We're both EKM's SEO experts. We're going to talk you through SEB and how to basically make your website work harder for you with SEO. Kieran's going to do the majority of the demonstrations. I'll chime in with some insights and things that you might want to hear about from a business perspective, and we can hopefully enjoy sort of working our way around the tool. There's a little bit at the end in terms of...
Can anyone hear me? I'm getting lost. I can't hear anybody. Is that...
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, but I'm not sure if you can hear us okay.
I assume not.
Is the audio okay for everyone else?
Yeah. Audio's fine and clear.
Okay. Yeah, great. Thanks, guys. We'll start off sort of at the very beginning, right? So one of the things that makes EKM SEO different is the fact that we actually build a specific strategy for your website based around your business. So lots of our competitors actually don't have this option for you, but the idea is that we collectively create a focused SEO plan that brings you the right kind of traffic, right? So the right kind of customers for your business going to your website. So I'll hand it over to Kieran, who'll explain how to build it for you.
Awesome. So yeah, when you first come onto the tool, this is the first screen you'll see, and you can get started. Now, what we do is we take some kind of key information from you to help build an SEO strategy specific for your business. So the first thing, and what's always important from an SEO point of view, is targeting. So where you're targeting. Now, for the vast majority of kind of e-commerce, it does tend to be the whole of whatever country you're in, but you can do specific locations as well, which is sometimes beneficial if you are kind of bricks and mortar store as well. So you can, on here, you can either select the whole of the UK, or obviously, like I say, whatever country you're in, or you can go into specific locations if you wanted to. So this will be specific towns, cities, even postcodes, to help really kind of nail down the targeting. So for this example, I'm going to use the whole of the UK and confirm they're happy. Now, what we'll do, and we're using an example store here, just a bit of a dummy store, but what will happen at this point, at the point at which your website's added in, we would have gone through, crawled the website and tried to find information about the business itself. So we generate a bit of a description around the business. Now, this whole section, this whole onboarding section is probably going to be the most important thing that you have to do during this process. Getting this right gets the account all set up correctly, and then helps SEB at a later point go through and automate the tasks that it's completing. So spending a bit of time here is really beneficial, and it does help you in the long run. So first things first, description. Like I say, we'll go away, we'll generate a description around the business. That description will be taken from content that we can find on your website. And here's a great time for you to kind of read through it. We don't always get it exactly right. So it's a good benefit to kind of go through, read the description, add in any information that you think might be beneficial. What makes you different from your competitors, what products and services you offer, even locations you cover. Obviously, you touched on locations before. Just as much information as we can get about the business, it really then helps the next sections as it kind of goes on through that process. So next step is adding competitors. So this can be any of the kind of local stores that you're kind of competing with in the industry, any stores that are down the road from you, anything that will help us trying to get an understanding of competitors that you may be targeting. So in this kind of dummy example, I'll just add booze.com. It's not a specific competitor, but you can add up to 5 into here. And what that's used for is it's used as to allow us to try and understand the keywords that some of your competitors might be targeting, and specifically keywords that you may want to target as well, and really help with that keyword process. Then you come on to this section. So from your description and what you've described around your business, what you offer, what you do, and your kind of target customer base, that sort of thing, we'll kind of come up and put together some of the kind of key products and services that you offer. So we generate up to 10 on the left-hand side, and we ask you basically to add the ones in that you think are relevant to your business onto the right-hand side. And you can prioritize these as to the ones that make you most money, the ones that are most important to you, any of the products and services that you offer. You can also as well add any manually and above that may have not come up in the kind of suggested selections on the left-hand side. And what that will allow us to do is from each of them products and services, we'll do tailored kind of keyword research around each one of them. that will then be used at the very end of the process. So again, you can add as many as you want into here. The more you add, the better, because the more keywords we can go off. Once you've done that, the thing that we ask you to do next is connect some of your accounts. Now, you might not have all of these accounts. If you don't, then we advise you to kind of create them. They're really beneficial from a business point of view, just to understand what's happening with your website in search. So Google Analytics is a tool, a free tool that's used by Google to give you data on who's visiting your website, what pages are getting viewed, all of that information. Google Search Console is really beneficial, and again, another free tool by Google that gives you an overview of how Google is showcasing your website within their search engine. So it will give you information around how many times it's been viewed, how many times it's been clicked, what queries people are searching for. It's really beneficial, and like I say, it's totally free to set up, and then you can connect it into the account. And the final one, Google Business Profile. So this is specific if you've got a local kind of bricks and mortar store as well, and can be like if you've got a head office or an office that you work at, it can even be your home address. It doesn't matter too much, but it's a way of Google understanding where that business is located, as long as you're happy to publish that information on the web. So again, you might not have this set up already, but if you haven't, it's a great way to add additional posts. When people are searching your business name, it'll give you key information about business, images, reviews, all that sort of stuff. So again, this is a section here that you can connect in. And when you do, this allows Seb to kind of go away and do some work for you on the local business. So it's really kind of core. I'm going to skip that step for now. Now, I'm not going to wait for this because this takes about 10 to 20 minutes to fully complete, but I will talk you through what actually happens within this process. So what we do here is we'll go away, we'll review all the products and services that you've added, we'll review your business description, and we will then generate quite a large list of keywords. For the vast majority of sites that run through this, we generate around 20,000 different keyword suggestions. We then give them a relevancy score based on your business. We check around your priorities for the products or services that you're offering, and we'll select just 50 of the top ones. So we're really specific around only really taking the best keywords for your account, and that will take into consideration, like I say, relevancy, but also search volume, difficulty, how difficult it is for you to potentially rank because of the competitors, that sort of stuff. The step that happens after that is around keyword assignment. So that the keyword selection, the keyword assignment process together take around 20 to 30 minutes because of the amount of work that's done there. But the keyword assignment will analyze your website, the full crawl of your website. We'll analyze all the keywords and we'll pick the best pages for the keywords all automatically. What we then do as well is we'll maybe highlight if there's any new pages you need to create on your website, because you might not have a page that's relevant for your for the keywords that you've selected. And relevance is key from Google's point of view. We need to make sure that the business, the keywords are relevant to the business itself, and the website itself has a location on it to host these keywords effectively. So like I say, I'm not going to wait for that to finish, but I have, in true Blue Peter style, I've got one that we did earlier.
I'll just add into it, guys, as well. Like, one of the things that some people have been saying to us most recently is, you know, can I just use ChatGPT for this? And actually, no, you can't, because that setup piece has showed you that context and relevance is really very important for SEO, and therefore adding your Google properties and adding real contextual data to how your website performs is super important to move forward with. Yes, you can use ChatGPT to create content and do some great things with AI, but a website needs context for it to be able to increase visibility and grow your business.
Yeah. So once you've kind of completed this onboarding process, you'll have a dashboard that you land on. So you can see here some of the keywords that it came up with when effectively I ran it before. So these are keywords that are relevant to the business itself. You've got different search volume metrics and stuff like that there. But the kind of key important thing here is this dashboard just gives you the key information that you need. However, the most important part to this is the Seb AI dropdown. Now, the way that Seb works is it works on a traditional kind of SEO structure. We've effectively taken it from what would happen in an agency if you were to go to an agency. How would your SEO campaign be planned out? when would certain things happen, and we've worked that into Seb and the way that Seb works. So Seb is your SEO consultant. He does your SEO work for you. The way that that kind of manifests itself is he'll give you a list of items to approve. So he'll do some work and he'll ask you to approve that work. Once that work's been approved, that work is automatically published to your website for the vast majority of the bits that are on there. Now, Seb's brain, and the thing that makes Seb good, is the business profile. So obviously at the very start of this process, you put in some information around your business, a business description. What we then do with that is we build that out with loads of additional context. So as Bryn mentioned just there, context is really key for this. Now what this does is it will go away, it will crawl the whole of your website, it will go through all your previous reviews, it will go through any posts that you made socially, all of that sort of stuff. Any new pages you add over time, this continues to update. Any bits that you feed back to Seb to say, actually, no, that wasn't right, or no, we don't offer this product and service, that continues to update in this business profile. And then this business profile is then used whenever Seb creates any content. So when it creates a blog post, when it creates any social GBP posts, when it responds to reviews, anything like the content that Seb creates, it references this to ensure that the information it gives is factual and correct around the business. So this is really key. This is the context piece that is really important and makes a big difference in the output. So this will go things like through things like your core offerings, what your product catalog is. It will mention things like pricing, product features, refunds, policies, locations, all that sort of stuff will all be within here. And at any point you can come into this and give feedback on it. And the way you give feedback is either as a document as a whole. So I've offered a new products and service. Can you add that to this? Because I want to make sure you understand that that's there. Or you can highlight a certain section and go, yeah, this part isn't right. Can you update that? And this will go away. It'll update the business profile and make sure that the information is accurate. But like I say, I'll also show you within the approval center how this automatically updates as well without you having to do anything. The other part of Seb's brain, I suppose, is the tone of voice. So we will crawl your website and we will understand how you write your content as it's written currently on your website. We will then put together a tone of voice document to ensure that any content that we create is written in the same way, the same tone of voice. So the way that this again gets updated is either automatically through the approval center, which I'll show you in a minute, or you can go and you can give feedback on them, specific items to make sure that it's relevant to you. Now, this is something that we aim to get right at the first point of call as which you come on and start using it. However, over time, we just want to continue to improve it. So as you feedback, as you approve things in the approval center, there are different signals that come back to this to improve the output. So let me show you the approval center. So Seb does a lot of SEO for your website. That goes from things like writing blog posts, writing business posts. We'll go through and answer reviews that you've had. We'll write page headings, meta descriptions, page titles, page content. All of that, all of them are written automatically by Seb. The way that it works is we'll crawl your website, we'll analyze your website, and we'll pick out anything that effectively needs to be updated. That then goes into a pipeline that Seb works on each month to ensure that it's all optimized correctly. So effectively, we start off with a blog strategy, and some of this stuff is, you won't normally see this many approvals in one go. It is manageable, but this is just to demonstrate the actual product itself. We'll start off with a blog strategy. So we'll put together an overview of blogs that we're going to write each month, with a bit of a description around what it is that we're going to write. Now, the way that this works is, again, you can give feedback on that, and you can kind of say what you do like, what you don't like, that sort of stuff on there, and that will update this strategy. Once you approve, that then goes into the cycle to then write that blog post in March in this example. Now, you'll notice with these as well, they get auto approved after a period of time. So if you don't have time to come onto it, or if you're happy with the output of Seb, then this will be auto approved so that the campaign continues to move on. What we don't want is you to have loads and loads of items within the approval center that you never kind of progress, because then your SEO doesn't progress. And you can control this a bit more as well, in terms of you can change settings to say, okay, I need a bit more time to be able to work on these items in the approval center, because a week by default isn't long enough. I need 3 weeks. Or you can, on certain things, if you're saying, right, Seb writes page titles really, really well, I'm happy for you to auto publish. I don't want to have approvals. Or for instance, with reviews, if say, for instance, you don't want Seb to respond to reviews, so you like to add a personal touch to the review responses that you do, you can switch that off, and then Seb won't write any responses. With regards to reviews themselves, we obviously do write responses. We don't try to go into the specifics around a review. If they've mentioned a certain member of staff or they've mentioned a certain service or product, we don't try and either confirm nor deny any of that, because even though we do have the business profile, we don't want to effectively speak out of turn. We'll also only respond to positive or neutral reviews. We won't respond automatically to negative reviews, because a lot of the time they have specific context that we won't have around the actual situation that's led to that negative review. So we won't respond to them, and you can respond to them through the platform, which I'll show you as well. So yeah, reviews, like I say, we'll write a response, and as soon as you approve that, that will get posted automatically straight to your Google business profile. So you don't have to copy and paste this anywhere. This will automatically go straight out. We also, on the Google business profile, will write blog posts, Google business profile posts. So these are like little kind of social updates, a bit like Facebook updates, that sort of thing, that Google show when you search for a business, and they're also sometimes shown the home feed of Google as well. So these are normally written with kind of seasonality in mind, time of year, certain specific events. They'll also link into some of the bits that you're talking about around your blogs as well, like certain topics that you're trying to cover, that sort of thing. So we write them, and again, you can approve them and publish them.
I was just going to say, Kieran, those of you who do have a GBP profile, really important to keep it up to date and fresh and link it to your website. If you do have a bricks and mortar store, one of the key things to help you with your SEO is to make sure your GBP posts are fresh and frequent. So it's a really great feature to try and bring visibility to that local space you're in. So just keep a note of that one.
Yeah, and one thing worth noting around them as well is that they only last on Google for 7 days. Google will show them for 7 days, and then they remove them effectively, or don't show them. So the way that Seb's set up is it will create a post every 7 days anyway, so you've always got some content there that was shown for the customer. Blog posts, we'll write blog posts, and within the age of AI and the way that AI and SEO is obviously combining very much, and how people want to get shown within ChatGPT responses. At the minute, the overlap with SEO and the techniques that you use to improve in SEO, and the overlap of how you kind of show within ChatGPT, is very high. Effectively, good SEO will really help you perform within kind of AI search. With the way that we write blog posts, they are effectively written to cover a topic, but also really to answer questions as well. And these questions, we've done research around the keywords that you've chosen, and we've gone away and had a look at all the questions that people ask around that, all the different topics, because the way that people search on AI is very different to the way that people traditionally used to search within Google. It is very much more conversation focused, and answering questions is a big piece to getting your site to show within the AI search results as well. So the way we try and do that is through the content, but we also try and answer questions around the topics of the keywords that you're optimizing for. So within here, we will show you as well the keywords that this blog post is supporting, and the blog post itself is written with kind of internal links within it as well, and obviously structured really from an SEO and an AIO or GEO point of view. And then there are other kind of on-site bits that we look at as well. So like I say, page content, page titles. Again, we'll show you everything that needs to be approved within here. You can just go through, click approve, and as I mentioned, the way that it works, it will implement it straight away onto your website automatically as soon as you click approve. So there's no copy and pasting across, and the same with meta descriptions as well. So like I say, the approval center is the kind of key area. You'll tend to get tasks around day 6, day 11, day 17. So they kind of almost come in a weekly basis after you've kind of signed up to the service. Again, to mimic how an agency would work. Also, Google doesn't like too much change too quickly. So to spread that out is always a benefit as well. But also to manage the workload as well. Obviously, you've got to go through and review this if you wanted to, and obviously approve this, which takes a lot less time than implementing it yourself manually, but still takes time, which obviously running a business is a busy time. So you can either set it to auto approve, or you can come in here and at least you'll have a manageable amount of items to approve within the approval center. Everything that you approve, once it's been approved, will drop into the change log. Now, the change log just basically is just a way for you to see everything that Seb's done. It will give you an overview of the work that's been completed. It will give you what work's been approved, what items have been changed, all of that. And it's just a log of everything that Seb's done that you can see over time, and you can then download any changes. The final piece of kind of settings, I suppose, for this is if you have any specific pages you want to prioritize. Sometimes there'll be a big focus around a new product you want to launch, or a certain service that you offer. And the way that Seb works is it will pick the pages based on what's got most to complete, and also which pages have keywords assigned to them. But sometimes a different page might have a lot of work to complete, but actually you just want this page working on quicker. So you can come into here and you can tick an item and move it onto the priority list, and then that will be worked on first. So you do have full control over what Seb does and what Seb works on. Now, Seb's obviously built into a bit of a bigger platform from an SEO point of view. So on this platform, you do have full control over the strategy that's built, the other items that we picked up that you could obviously work on if you want to do work on top of Seb. You obviously don't need to at all. Seb does enough of the work for you, but you can within here, and I won't go through each of the sections, but you can see the keyword research that was completed. You can see where the assignment happened and what pages have keywords assigned. You can see all of the actions for the website, any of the other bits that have been picked up and changes need to be made. And these also will show you, okay, this is something that will be done by Seb. And obviously if it can't be done by Seb, then there'll be instructions on what needs to be done. But like I say, Seb covers the vast majority of items on there. For local, as I mentioned, you have full control over your local listing, your GBP listing. So you can make changes to anything within here, business name, address, website URL, anything like that. You can also, again, see an overview of all your reviews. You can also respond to them reviews within here. So as I mentioned, the negative reviews aren't ones that we respond to. So instead of having to go into your Google business profile, you can do it within here and respond to it as well. Directories is something else that Seb done. I don't have an example of it here, but effectively we build listings, which are basically kind of the cluster citations, but they're also backlinks. But we will build listings for your business across all of the kind of key directories. So there's around 40 or so directories that will be submitted to. That's all done automatically again by Seb. So that happens around day 17, and you'll get confirmation of when that's been completed as well. And when it has been completed, when you go to the directory section, you'll be able to see all of the listings that have been built and go into them. Some of them won't have links, so things like Apple voice search and stuff like that, we obviously submit to there, but they don't have a physical link that you can go to see that. And then I suppose finally on the kind of based on what Seb does, what the output is. So we have a traffic section, which pulls in kind of key information from analytics when you connected it, but also Google Search Console. And that will just kind of give you a bit of an overview of the kind of key data that you need. Seb also sends you an email once a month with an overview of the work that's been completed and the performance change as well. So this is the same sort of kind of analysis that would have been done by an SEO consultant. You'll get an email at the start of your second month onwards, and then each month. And that will give you an overview of kind of like the key changes, what work's been done, what work's planned to be done the next month, just so you have kind of an update, like I say, as an SEO consultant would give as well. So yeah, I think that's kind of the key features. Like I say, there are other bits within the platform as well that you can obviously see and kind of have a click through and use. But I suppose the key takeaway is that you don't need to if you don't want to. Seb will do the work for you, implement that work for you as well. And all you really need to do is approve it or give any feedback that you need to on there. There you go.
No, just one of the things that Kieran just covered around sort of the backlinks and the citations piece, the listings piece. What EKM enables you guys to do is to get your name, address, profile linked to all AI platforms, all social platforms, things like map packs and sat navs that you sort of see, you know, when you're driving your cars as well. So that bit will be populated when you join. But it's a really sort of key thing to get your brand out there within AI as well. So that's a really sort of useful feature. And I think for me, the choice. Some of you guys will really want to be hands-on and co-pilot, and there's things you can do and actions you can take. Some of you guys on the call might be like, well, you know what, Bryn, I've got an hour a week for marketing, and actually this will take care of a lot of those things for you. So it's a really flexible tool based on how you like to approach your marketing. You can be as hands-on as you'd like to be. You can create as much as you like or use it as much as you like to. But a lot of the people that we have as customers, really want that sort of hands-off piece and it done for them. And again, like Kieran said, it's a really important piece for SEO and AI. So at the minute, Google sees 20 times more searches than ChatGPT. So Google's still the main dominant player by a huge distance. And 80% of AI SEO is SEO. So in doing this, you've got the sort of basics, but because of the platform and the way we've built it, we can get you in the AI answers that you need to be in too. So it's an ongoing process, and obviously the roadmap's got some exciting new features to come, but we're really excited to try and launch this to you guys today, and hopefully Colin's going to let you know how you can get started.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Thank you. So, just I'm getting a bit of feedback. Yeah. We have a little bit of time for questions if anybody wanted to drop any into the chat, but whilst you do that, I'm just going to suggest a couple of things. So if you do want to get started, we are running an offer right now. So if you sign up before the 1st of March, you'll receive a 15% discount for the first 3 months. So please do jump onto that if you can. But yeah, if there is any questions, please do ask in the chat. We're happy to answer now. If not, we can finish early. So I'll just give it a couple of seconds. And yeah, any early feedback, or is anyone looking forward to getting started? So I'll give it a couple of seconds first. Thank you for that, Bryn.
Yeah. Hi, Colin.
That was great. Oh, hello.
Hi, Colin. Sorry, it's David here. I was having sound problems at the beginning, so I was in and out, so I may have missed this. Is it a 12-month service, or is it a monthly service, or how does it work in terms of costings and sign up?
So yeah, if you sign up, you basically it's a monthly paid service. You can subscribe for 12 months for a discount also. When you do sign up, there is I believe it's a 14-day money-back guarantee on it as well. So if you're not happy within the first 14 days, there will be a money-back option. But yeah, so if you sign up today, you will pay monthly. Yes. Hopefully that helps. Any other questions? Oh, we're getting questions in the chat. Let's have a look. So you scroll up, we've got a few. So Kieran and Bryn, first question. I have a question regarding local actions. It's showing pages which I don't have on my shop.
So if it's showing stuff that you don't have on the shop, I don't know if that's a specific issue with their account. I don't know. We'd have to have a look at that specific example if it is something to their account. But realistically, the local action should only really focus on Google Business Profile. Shouldn't focus on anything actually on the website itself for specific local actions.
Thank you. Ross, will it do more than one blog per month?
It can do. So yeah, it is capable that you could do more than one blog a month. It would be an upsell to do that, just because there's a standard kind of campaign that's set up to run, but it is capable of doing more than one blog a month. We normally would say to limit it at around 4. The only reason I'd say to limit it at 4 is just because 1 a week is probably a good amount of new content for the website, so not kind of overloading it.
Thank you. Just to follow up, I think Paul said, shall I do a screen grab? But I think we can reach out afterwards on that question.
Yes.
Just to give you a bit of assistance with that one. Going back to Kyle, is it a completely separate package? Yes, it is. This is separate to your EKM package. It is only currently available to EKM customers, but yes, it is a separate package. Another question from Ross. What is the max amount of content it can produce in 1 month? Is there a limit?
So I suppose outside of blog content, the way that it works is it will work on a set number of pages per month. So the default is 3 pages a month. So effectively, it will write content for them pages if it needs to as well. That's the key thing as well. If you've already got good quality content on the pages and it's optimized well, then we obviously don't need to write content for that. But it'll write content for pages. It'll obviously write page titles, meta descriptions, and obviously blog posts as well. But it's based on the number of pages that it optimizes on a monthly basis rather than the amount of content or words written.
Thank you very much. So one from Chris. It looks good, but I was expecting more about creating SEO descriptions for product pages or for products. What do you recommend for this?
Yes, it will do that. So effectively, like I say, it works through the website itself on a set number of pages per month. If one of them pages or the pages you're prioritizing are product pages, it will optimize obviously titles, content, descriptions, all of that for them pages. So it will work on SEO descriptions for product pages as well.
Thank you. Tom, your question, we don't currently have a blog. Will the AI automatically create one? Unfortunately, it won't create the blog for you, but you can enable the blog feature within EKM, within the features settings. And then obviously it will work alongside Hike. Another question from Ross. On the blog that it's creating, does it create images as well? Also, how does the internal linking work? Will it link to product and category pages?
Yeah, so at the minute it doesn't create images, but that is one of the things that Bryn said. We've got a lot of things upcoming. So image creation for both blog posts and also GBP posts is something that's coming very soon. In terms of internal linking, we'll add internal linking into the actual blog post itself. This will be based on mainly the keywords that are optimized. So we'll have a look at the keywords that are optimized on the sitemap and the pages that then keywords link to. And then when it creates the blog post, it will choose what's relevant and natural for that blog post. So we don't want to be spammy from an SEO point of view. So we'll create what's relevant from an internal linking point of view and add the internal links into the content as well.
Thank you very much. David's asked, can the tone stroke content be angled for B2B?
Yes, that's what the tone of voice guide is for. So like I say, you can update that to one of 2 ways. So either directly on the tone of voice, if you read through that and you think actually no, I want it to be angled slightly different, you can go onto that tone of voice and you can feedback on it directly. On the actual approval center, if you have a blog post that's been written and you want to change the tone of that blog post, you can feedback directly on the blog post itself and say, obviously, I want this more focused around B2B. What that will do is update that specific blog post, but it'll also update your tone of voice as well, so that it knows for future blog posts that that's how you want them done.
Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully that's answered that question. Ross has asked, if Seb changes the page title, will it set up a redirect for this?
No, it won't need to. The way that it's implemented is on the front end of the website. So the page title can change, but it won't change the URL structure. So it's a benefit because we don't really want to be creating loads of redirects from an SEO point of view. So it will just update the page title, but the URL structure will stay the same.
Thank you. Joan has asked, what does this service cost? I've pasted the page link into the chat so you can look a little bit more into this. The monthly cost is £95 plus VAT per month, but as I suggested, there is a discount running for 15% off for the first 3 months if you sign up before the 1st of March. You can also pay yearly, which is £912 per year plus VAT, but that works out at £76 plus VAT per month on average. Again, you can look more into that with the page that I've pasted in the chat. Alex asks, will help be provided by an agent at EKM to set this up?
I believe there's live chat, isn't there, within the actual platform itself. So if you get stuck, you can reach out on live chat and can kind of help with that setup process.
Yes, thank you. Mag, apologies if I've pronounced that wrong. How long does it take using this service for search results to noticeably start rising or page rank?
Yeah, so this is the kind of traditional SEO question. So normally it depends on the competition and the search volume for the keywords. We traditionally stay away from very, very highly competitive keywords unless the website itself has higher authority, which we obviously do a check when it is first added. For longer tail keywords and maybe less competitive keywords, more niche keywords, you normally start to see a performance improvement between 3 and 6 months. And then for the kind of more competitive keywords, anywhere from 6 to 12 months. It does depend on the authority of the website, and it does as well depend on how much competition is out there. So authority of the website is obviously dictated by links to the site and things like that, even if you've had kind of like news coverage, PR links, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, also who you're competing against. If you're competing against an Amazon and Argos and stuff like that, then obviously it's a lot harder. Not impossible, but it's a lot harder and takes longer to complete. But it really does depend. It's how long's a piece of string, but normally 3 to 6 months for longer tail stuff, and then 6 to 12 months for more competitive things.
Thank you very much. Question from Tom. If we add a new range of products to our website, will our relevant keywords be updated to include the new range?
So the way that the keyword process works, we obviously do the initial keyword assignment at the very start when you first onboard, and then we'll do a strategy review after 6 months. However, in between then, like I say, there is sections on the platform for you to add any kind of new products and services into there, and then keywords can be added from that as well. So it can be updated at any point. You have a total of 300 keywords that you can use to kind of add to the campaign itself by default, and that will give you more than enough coverage, I think, for most of the kind of key products and services.
Very, very helpful answers, even for myself. Learning as we go. On our EKM website, when will we change the title? The URL changes as well according to the title.
Yeah, so the way that the SEO is implemented is using JavaScript. So like I say, the core page itself stays the same. You can almost imagine it as a bit of an overlay for the website. So the core page behind stays the same, and we just update the title, the meta description, the content and stuff using JavaScript. It's a method that is picked up by Google and optimized well by Google now, and has been for the last kind of 4 or 5 years. But what it means is that it won't make kind of core changes, even with the kind of EKM setup. It won't make changes to the URL itself, which again is beneficial from an SEO point of view.
Thank you. The last question we've got covered on the list: at what intervals would the sitemap be updated?
So this kind of linked to the other one in terms of we'll do a review after 6 months and bits like that. We also will recrawl the website every month. So because we recrawl the site every month, we'll pick up any new pages there and obviously have them, we'll have actions for them and stuff. So we will work on, even if pages don't have keywords assigned to them, we will still work on the pages themselves from an SEO point of view. The sitemap's updated every 6 months by default, but obviously you can make tweaks in between then as well.
Okay, thank you. And then Alex has asked, oh, sorry, Nature Teams, the pop-ups got in the way of the question for me, so 1 second. Is the price fixed for any amount of time, or can the price increase? I'm not 100% sure. I believe it will be fixed for the period, the first 12 months. I can't speak for beyond that point. I think Randeep would have to probably step in if he's still on the call. He might not be, but we can always get back to you on that question. But I think as is the nature of this. We will always review prices, but I'm pretty sure that for the first year at least, it will stay as it is. Mag has asked, generally speaking, what are the key opportunities in this service or generally on search for smaller online retailers to leapfrog bigger companies? Example, does AI make it easier for small companies or potentially harder to compete?
I think it's a really good question, and I think it's one of the core reasons as to why EKM SEO was built, is really to help level the playing field for small businesses against the kind of bigger companies. I think what AI allows you to do is compete from a amount of output point of view. Obviously, Seb can go away, he can do a lot of work that maybe you wouldn't have had the time or capacity to be able to do beforehand, and this allows you to compete against the bigger companies, and also allow you to kind of continue to improve the optimization of your website to show for more and more keywords. I think that's a key thing. Obviously, you'll have keywords that have been specifically targeted and that are within your sitemap and your tracking, but there's loads of other keywords that improve off the back of that as well. More niche phrases, blog posts help with that as well. So yeah, I definitely say that AI makes it much easier for smaller companies to compete, more so than the bigger companies that are out there.
Wonderful, thank you. One question from Ross. On the analytics, does it see AI traffic where... Sorry, let me rephrase this. On the analytics, does it see AI traffic? Where is it getting this information from?
Yes, so it will report on AI traffic that you get to your website from Google Analytics. So within Google Analytics, we've extracted data that will show us what traffic you're getting from Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini. So that's based on people that have actually physically come to your website from them services. What's coming up as well in what Bryn mentioned as well in terms of new features, coming relatively soon, and when I say relatively soon, in the next couple of months, we'll have AI visibility in there as well. So this will be how often or how likely it is that your brand is mentioned within the AI responses. Now, one thing we've seen from AI search results more recently is that they don't send anywhere near the level of traffic that Google does, even relative to the amount of search that it gets. So people will see your company within ChatGPT and won't always click on the links as it is set now currently. I mean, that may change over the future. GPT may push more kind of external clicks, but for now, you'll get traffic data of people that physically come to your website, and in the next couple of months, you'll get how many times your brand is kind of cited within these different services, which gives you a bit of an overall picture.
Thank you, Kieran. Another question from Tom. Would anyone be able to look at Google Analytics for conversion tracking setup, given the importance for getting and reporting data, as we seem to have discrepancies with GA4 attribution source data comparing to other platforms?
I'd say that probably needs to be one that's reached out about specifically, just because it's a case by case basis, I'd say.
Yes, as I read that, I think we will get back to you on that one specifically. Okay, thank you. So we can finish up early. Just if there are any other questions, feel free to ask them and we will get back to you on those specific questions. But thank you, everybody. Just as a reminder, I put it in the chat earlier, but I will be sharing this webinar out with everybody via email, so everyone will receive a copy of this so they can rewatch it. I'd just like to say thank you to Kieran and Bryn for presenting this and bringing some really useful knowledge to the table, and thank you everyone for attending. It's been insightful even for myself, and yeah, so thank you everyone, and have a good day, and yes, so goodbye and have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye. Thank you. Cheers.